Will this hurricane affect the North Texas area? I know we are expecting some rain chances later on this week.
You know, it's an interesting question. When we look further out in the models, we see indications that, could rain be brought from these systems? This one could be interesting to watch late this week into the weekend. Could we see remnants of it approach the Texas Gulf Coast, and maybe it re-strengthens in the Gulf? A lot to watch. We'll show you more on that in a second. First time lapse. Beautiful day, just hot day. Look at this sunset tonight. Wonderful sunset through the evening. Here's what we're going to talk about tonight. Again, of course, major hurricane Beryl, also a tropical storm just formed a moment ago. Chris in the southern Gulf, if you can believe that. Okay. All quiet here, though, looking at central, although the road not extremely quiet. So we're going to talk about, obviously, what's going on in the tropics and that storm that just formed a moment ago in the southern Gulf. No threat to us here. The heat is going to continue, but a big pattern change, again, as we're talking about for next weekend, that we'll want to watch. And I think we're going to be anxiously awaiting this news for seeing how that changes. First, let's start with the hurricane. We're going to take a look at this. This is major hurricane Beryl. Again, a category 4 storm now. It's going through what we call an ERC, an eye wall replacement cycle. All it means, fancy wording, of course, for what it sounds like. The eye wall is going to reform and recirculate, and it's going to redevelop. And it's a very small eye wall. And sometimes when that happens, it's indicative of perhaps rapid intensification, as we've seen out of this. Now, something interesting has happened. It's reached category 4 strength at about the same level Katrina and Harvey did, and it's kind of dropping off. They reached this plateau, and it's not completely clear as to why they reach this point and stop rapid intensification, but that's some short-term good news for the Lesser Antilles and the Eastern Caribbean. So this is going to be a category 4 all the way through Wednesday, and then stay a major storm at least through Tuesday, rather, and then it should get closer to the Western Caribbean by Thursday and still be a category 2. Now, there's a lot of wind shear in this area, but it could then perhaps end up in the southern Gulf, where we see this storm and the previous one, Tropical Storm Alberto, where the waters are very warm. That's what we call the Campeche Sound, and here's the Yucatan and Cancun. Now, let's take a look at this developing area, okay? That was just named Tropical Storm Chris, so this shows Depression 3. They just changed it and named it Chris. It will make landfall and move straight west into Mexico soon here, bringing much-needed rainfall to some parts. Here's Beryl now, and behind that is now a 70% chance of formation to follow in that direct track. Now, that water is going to be worked over a little bit, but the tropics, a lot to watch. We'll know much more as we get further, especially into next week, if we see any of that rain impact Texas in any way. Right now, dew point still 73, so it is muggy. Heat advisory tomorrow through 7 p.m. Same thing we've seen day after day. Future feels like temps tomorrow, not good. Okay, 105 to 108 in spots. Some spots maybe slightly higher than that, but it's going to feel just extremely hot through Thursday. And then we see the heat dome finally break down, okay? Watch this kind of breakdown. We see part of it shift off to the east, part of it off to the west, more of the mid-levels off to the west. That allows the jet stream, what we call a trough, to dip in and bring us more precipitation. Here's the latest European model. This is great news. Look at this. Friday evening with a surface front moving through Saturday, and could see potentially some pockets, maybe some decent rainfall amounts. Don't want to get ahead of myself here. 1 to 2 inches, maybe. We'll see. But we're going to see those chances probably go up if that increases. 100, 102, 101, 101, and then 96, 94. And rain chances 50% overnight Friday into Saturday, and some embedded thunderstorms. That will be nice to finally see.